Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Fair Dinkum Focus podcast. Today I am your host, Jonathan, and today with me are my co-hosts, Shami and someone. Okay, now if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, it is because we just got back from a wonderful day in the field. We had lots of wonderful photos that were taken, and we did not have enough time to wash up before this, so we're going to have to deal with that. But without further ado, we're going to get right into today's podcast. We have a lot lined up. Okay, we just got back from a wonderful day in the. Do you guys want to share more about the experience that we had just now?
I think Jonathan can start first cause we start from the other side of the Botanic Gardens.
Jevin or me? I think Jevin should start
Jonathan.
first.
Okay, I'll start. Okay, so I was at Learning Forest and Xiami and Jonathan were coming from Eco Lake, was it? Yeah. So I came there. Me and Jonathan went there a previous time to look for the Malayan night heron, but instead we found the hot cocoa. But I was still looking forward to finding the night heron. So as I was walking through the forest, I was losing hope. Then all of a sudden, I see this small beak peeking out. And I thought, could that be it? And yes, it was the juvenile Malayan night heron. And shortly after I updated Jonathan, both of them arrived, and we got some good shots, I presume.
Yeah,
Yes.
wonderful. Yeah.
Afterwards, we went to find the. What did we go and find? I forgot.
The orange headed thrush, remember?
Yeah. We tried to find the orange head thrush, but not much luck. Uh, while then we came across a group that was waiting for the fairy pita, and although we didn't get it, Jonathan was like scouting the area and found the hooded pita nearby, which I didn't even know that was there. So kudos to that. And it was hard to shoot, but it was there.
Yeah, really hard to shoot. I think you're forgetting something, by the way. Remember that white crescent laughing thrush?
Laughing frog.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
the white
yeah.
crystal. So
The one
we
that
were
the one that someone called chicken.
no, you said chicken. I thought you were serious. Okay, basically, we were all three of us were walking down the path. We were about to exit the learning forest. Then, as we were walking down this slope, all of a sudden, both of them paused. So then I turned around and then Siami joked, "Oh, it's a chicken." And I thought he was serious. Then I looked at both of you and just said, "Why are you so serious in photographing a chicken? It cannot be that beautiful." So I go because whatever they were shooting, it was blocked by the leaf. So then I come around and then it's this beautiful white crystal. I was like, "What is that?" I was like, it was so nice. We got a few, maybe 3-4 minutes of photos. It's
We were
nice.
chasing it around.
Yeah, I think it got spooked originally when we were walking past. Because if it didn't move, we probably wouldn't have seen it in the first place. So it was a good bird to photograph. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, thank you so much for that sharing. And I think we also had quite a good time down at Eco Lake, not wrong. We were able to photograph the open bills, the I think it was an intermediate grid, if I'm not wrong. We were able to get some wonderful reflection of that in hunting mode, really. And we actually realized that instead of only one Asian open bill, there were three of them, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, there were
Yeah,
three.
so that was a surprise. And I think it was wonderful. It was a really wonderful experience when this stock-billed kingfisher, we actually mistook it for a really colorful little heron, which doesn't make sense until it flew towards us, directly at us. It just
Yeah.
flew flew across, we, shooting something else, and it just turned toward us. And well, we just tried our best. We rattled off a bunch of shots, and true enough to get a few keepers. So I think that was one of the highlights. Yeah, and it was a kingfisher species actually. Quite a tiny species as we can see behind Mr. Someone's setup. Yep, it was a common kingfisher. It was really dark. Um, and our ISOs were really sky high, so we couldn't really get the best shots. I haven't checked the shots yet. I've only checked a couple of them, but I have a feeling that they're not going to turn out the best. Okay, maybe Shami will want to share about the red-legged crate that I accidentally. Yes.
I mean, we were walking towards to find some sunbird, but there isn't. I mean, there's one on it, I would say. Let's consider as a sunbird. Then, as we were walking along, then I spotted something at the corner of the grass. So I was like, stop. Then I think Javin also saw it. I was like, that is a red-legged crake. Then Jonathan was froze on place because he don't know what bird was it. I think he was looking far ahead, not looking like downward.
I was a little too focused on finding some crimson sun. And that red-legged crate is really well camouflaged. The patterns on the bird's chest and the brown color on the bird's back, it's really hard to spot. I think I could have done it if you guys didn't alert me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so because I stayed behind, so I just my purpose is just to like chase the red-legged crake to you guys.
Yeah. I think it did turn around eventually, and it actually walked across the path twice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But not I don't have that much of a shot of it.
but it's okay.
I just being
Counts on you, but that's it. It counts on you. Yeah. Um.
I mean it's not a lifer for me. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's just it's a nice coincidence to see like some of the birds that not expected to be there to be
Yeah,
there.
definitely. Especially one that he nearly stepped on. But I guess birding is definitely sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean you can talk about the people.
Oh yes,
I would say.
definitely. So as Jervin shared earlier, there's been quite a lot of talk about a fairy pitta recently in Singapore. And just for some context for our international viewers, the fairy pitta is a vagrant last spotted in 2021. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Last spotted in 2021 in Hindhead Nature Park. It was, if I recall, during the pandemic, so a lot of people were actually able to weren't actually able to get it. I'm not sure if I got that right, but anyways, all things set aside, it's a rabbit and it shouldn't be here. So it definitely drew a crowd. But after the first 2 days of it being around, a tree actually collapsed due to some of the recent storms that we were having here in Singapore. So the rainforest trail had to be closed for I think about 3 days. I made a trip with my brother that day. We were just hoping that it will reopen, but no. In the end, we had to go home without the ferry pitter. But we tried again today, but being a little bit of an explorer, I decided, okay, you know what? While the main group stays at the so-called spot with the highest chance, I was like, I'm gonna take matters into my own hands, and I just walked around the entire rainforest trail, and I stumbled across what I thought was a squirrel at first, but it moved a lot like a bird. So I was like, wait a minute, that's no squirrel. That's a hooded pitter. So you know what? I didn't really have any good shots of that species either. So I was just delighted to be able to see it. And after shooting it for a while, I just texted in our chat group, "Hey, I saw a hooded pizza. Do you guys want to come over?" And they had a tough time finding me. How long did it take you guys to find me?
Probably a good 5 minutes of
I mean,
walking.
we just assume that we just look it back, like you didn't like veer off the trail, so we
Yes,
just follow
I
back
did
to
not.
the
Yeah.
like the circle part.
Okay, it's good that you guys found me in the end. If not, I would have lost a 135 mil lens that you had. Yeah, but we all managed to get some shots, which was absolutely wonderful. Um, I really gotta thank Xiaomi for his A6600. Surprisingly, it did better than my full frame Sony A9. So what an interesting thing to think.
I think that one is you talk about like the tracking is still better on the A9
Yeah,
and the
I think the tracking is definitely still going to be a lot better on the Sony A9. It is fully stacked sensor and has superior autofocus, but the A6600 could do pretty much the same in low light. But what I realized was that the camera body was actually lighter and the IBIS as well. I'm not sure if the A6600 has IBIS, but it just felt a lot more stable. And true
it
enough, I
has
actually got a little more shots
it
with
has the
the
same I think stops of IBIS with the A9,
okay. I think the Sony
5.5
A9
stops.
has 5, if I'm not wrong. 5.0 or something along those lines. Yeah, but I think just these two factors of, weight and the extra stops of in-body image stabilization it just really made my life 10 times easier. Yes, the shutter sound was crazy, sounded like a machine gun. The bird didn't mind it, but yeah, I was able
I think it's not.
using
I would say it's not as loud as like compared to like
an R7.
other
Sorry,
or
sorry
the
to all of you
bigger
using the R7.
or the bigger
Yeah,
DSLR,
yeah,
like compared to DSLR
yeah,
era.
definitely.
Then I would say yeah, it's five stop for the A6600 and 5.5 for the A9.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, yeah. But what happened after the crate? Sorry, after the pitter was, we found the crate, and when I used the medium spot tracking on the A6600 with the 200 to 600, I felt that it was not performing as well as I had wanted. I felt that I would have gotten 10 times more keywords with the Sony A9 since it was better light. But I managed to still get one shot. I'm sure Jervin and Chami got more sharp shots than I did because I was just really struggling with, the autofocus on that. Yeah. So that was about the pizza and about the Frick, yeah. Maybe Jervin would like to share more about your encounter with the night heron because we weren't actually there.
Uh, okay, basically I arrived at about 6. I got lost for like 15 minutes. So I was going the wrong way. So I had to go back. And as I was walking down, there was like a lot of people like walking past. So I thought that maybe it would be like the night heron would be like, scared off from all these people laughing and talking along the way. So that was my main concern. Until I walked until remember the tree for the old hot cocoa. Just a bit before that, there was a bunch of leaves rustling. So I thought it's either a squirrel or the night hare I'm looking for. So I got down and I see a beak behind the tree, and I thought, yeah, it's the night heron. And it came out, and I realized it was a juvie. Although the patterns on the juvie are quite nice, I would have rather had the full adult, cause it travels well against the the brown leaves are already scattered on the floor. So I thought that would have made a slightly more interesting photo. But nonetheless, I'm not complaining. I got the night heron as a lifer, so not complaining about that.
Yeah.
Only after you guys arrived.
And I also saw your shot in the chat group. You had it looking directly at you.
Yeah.
It was a really nice and sharp shot. Yeah. What about the white crested laughing thrush? Maybe you would want to elaborate more about the shooting experience.
Okay. The the trash is a bit hard to shoot, given that it's very active. Similar to the orange shader, it will always like jump and fly a bit. So it will stay put for like 10-15 seconds before it moves to another spot. So repositioning and like getting your camera proper is a bit hard. But it's a beautiful bird to photograph, basically. Very contrasting eyes and its neck and body with the black mask on its eye, if I'm not wrong. Its white neck and its orange body. It's one of the nicest birds I photographed, I would say. We were walking down a trail, we were just like casually talking. Then all of a sudden, you guys stopped behind me. So I was like, what could it be? Then Xiaomi joking, oh, it's a chicken. I thought he was being serious because I really don't know how to type. Then I came around. I didn't know if he was serious now, so I came around as the leaves were blocking the trash at the time. So I came around, I was like, what is this? What is this pretty bird? And after we shot, we discovered what it was basically. But during the shooting period, it was similar to the shooting conditions at the original Ferry Peter site before the tree fell. It was like very dark, very dim. Our ISO and shutter speed are really pushed to the limits. Really pushed to the limits,
Definitely. Definitely.
considering our aperture limitations. That we can't change. It's forced. And for the first, I'd say, period of the 3 minutes, we were able to shoot it. It was mostly on the ground and maybe on the branches. But the branch perches were very hard to shoot because it was there for like a good 2 seconds before I hopped onto the ground. So we didn't get very open branch perches. Although before I went up into the tree and into the distance, uh, Jonathan spotted a perch, and he said that would have been nice if he perched there. Then about 10 seconds later, he actually perched there, so that's really funny. And I only got one usable shot because my shutter speed was like all the way up, but I got one, so I'm appreciative. I think we all got some good shots, so it was a very nice.
Yeah, I think in Botanic Gardens is we come to realize that it's good to have a fast aperture telephoto lens for your second lens.
Yeah, definitely.
So like maybe
Um,
if Javin bought the 70 to 200, it will be like a different.
yeah,
Yeah,
just that few stops of light really makes a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah.
because like Botanic, it was very cloudy that day also, today. Compared to like other days, I think the Botanic Gardens have a different what like lighting, and like towards the end, then the sun decided to shine through.
Yeah, it was quite confusing. I think it was supposed to rain today, but
Yeah.
apparently not. Yeah, so it was a wonderful thing. Yeah. Um, I think I accidentally flushed the laughing thrush for full disclosure. I did not mean to, but it did help us to spot the bird, and I'm glad that you guys were able to get some shots. Shami, you borrowed something from me. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, one of my favorite focal length for birding. I don't know why I like that focal length, but it's a different perspective because it's always mounted on a APS-C camera. Like for the times I think now I loan like 5 times, including yours is like 6 already of the 134 1.8. So
I
like
think,
that's
yeah,
my favorite focal length. So it's around 200 millimeter equivalent focal length.
Yeah, because it's 1 point. So not,
5.
yeah.
Yeah. So I would say the telephoto, like the prime is like just nice, not that close, not that far. So it's not like a 85 mm or like a 135. Or it's not like the 200 or 300 mm.
Yeah.
So you can get like some. If you step back, you still can get like the shot of everything of like the environment. So I would say, I mean, that lens is one of the. It's quite old already, I would say.
Mm, yeah. How did
Yeah,
you?
so
Yeah.
it releases the same around the same timing as the A6600.
Ah, yes. Correct. Yeah.
So the autofocus is like paired with the A6600 is not as good as like the newer lenses from Sony. Like I would say you can get a better result like from like if you don't mind like to sacrifice the light, you can go for the new 100 mm macro
Oh, yes.
or
That
like
takes
faster autofocus.
this that take 2 times teleconverters.
Yes,
Okay, that's crazy.
but it'll be a 205.6.
Yeah, there's gonna be some bokeh issues with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
So
did
I would
you
say
find the f1.8 usefulness?
I think it really helps elevate the like the APS-C issue with the sensor size. So like you can shoot with lower ISO. Although it will still be noisy lah, as the sensor is physically smaller. So I mean, it's a. How about you? How is like the 900 mm?
Okay, yeah. So for context, I borrowed Xiaomi's A6600. So 900 mils. Wow, that was my first time using that much focal length because you have 1.5 times 600, which gives you 900 mils in total. When we were shooting that hooded picture, even though it was quite a distance away from us after like 5 minutes of it coming close, I struggled. I struggled finding the bird in the viewfinder. I was like, isn't that it? And I just kept looking 3 times until I realized I gotta aim slightly higher. So I looked inside and I was like, wow, the bird's huge in the viewfinder. Thankfully, it, moved further away. But yeah, 900 mils is quite a lot. So I have no idea how those of you who are using an APS-C body with a 600 mil lens even find the bird in the viewfinder. So mad respect for you guys. Yeah. But I'm glad to have that extra reach. I think with my A9 it would have been a little harder. I would have lost a little more image quality considering the noise conditions already. So yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, things happen in the field that are out of our control. So, Xiaomi, would like to share a little bit about your experience with your electronic shutter R7.
I would say it's not really. I mean, if I shoot lower shutter speed, I can't really go to like the uh lower shutter speed. I cannot go to mechanical shutter because it will cause shutter shock. So most of the time I use electronic shutter. But because the sensor is like quite slow, uh I would say there's lesser usable image because you need to first to pick whether it's in focus. Second, whether it's not skewing. Third is like whether like the ISO is acceptable or not. But most of the time the ISO I would say it's not really an issue because I think the noise software can help with that. So it's more of the skewing and like the autofocus.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's
So I would say this like end of last year I started to embrace the rolling shutter and make for like some artistic
yeah,
photography moments with the rolling shutter. Shooting really slow shutter with the electronic shutter.
panning. Yeah, panning is a good way to balance out that warping effect. Yeah.
I mean, I would say I still want like a faster aperture, like maybe a 70 to 200 f2.8 maybe, or like a fast telephoto prime to help like
300 f2.8 will work as well.
um I would say see how lah. I mean, depend on like but I like to shoot wider than 300 I think, because most of my shots I like to use like the 100 millimeter on my 100 to 500 more.
Yeah, helps to include more environment. Kind of
Yeah,
gives
so
you
I
the
probably like
context.
wanting
Yeah.
to see if the 100 millimeter macro either from Canon or Sony, or the 135 either from Canon or Sony will like fit the bag, because it's quite compact also. Like to carry
Mm,
like my 100 500 and another lens is quite heavy. So I think I value that compactness of the 100 to 500 and another lens that is quite compact also.
yeah. Okay. Maybe Jervin, you would like to share right now a little bit about the stock-built kingfisher experience.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, basically, all three of us were busy shooting the intermediate egret and the open bill. And while while we were finished, as we finished photographing those two, we turned to face the yellow bitten, I believe, that was on the other side of the river or whatever you call it. And all of a sudden, we see the common kingfisher go across, and so we thought, oh, nice, it's still here. And all of a sudden, the stock-billed kingfisher came down, flew in front of us, and it was really close. It was a really close encounter. I feel like if I went 800 mm, I could probably fill the frame with it. Like, not even kidding, that's not exaggeration. I probably could with 800. And as it flew down, my first thought was like, okay, no time, change your shutter speed. Because it's better to have a noisy photo than have like a blurry photo. Because one is savable. At least you can try to save. The other one you really can't. It's like bo pian already. And I believe Xiami didn't get it, unfortunately. Uh, it was eyes in the sky, as you said. And
Yeah.
Jonathan, I'm not sure if you got a usable shot, but I got a usable shot somehow. It
I'm
barely
gonna
worked.
check, yeah, later on. But
But
I think oh yeah, sorry, you were saying.
no, you first.
Yeah, I think what you said about the um when when I saw it, I just told myself up the shutter speed. I think we actually got to practice that. Um, I personally feel that I've missed quite a lot of shots because I haven't been able to change my shutter speed fast enough. And I think just your reaction time actually got you like a lot more keepers than me. I probably only have two shots and you probably have four. Yeah, so I think just the reaction time is really so important. Can't stress it enough, but yeah, it's really important. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing. Um, maybe you could share a little bit about the trip that we're trying to plan to Fraser's Hill. Um, Shami, would you want to talk a little bit about this?
Mm, I'll say Fraser Hill and Sabah. I think Sabah will be better in December,
Oh yeah, sorry. Fraser's Hill and Sabah, sorry. Yeah.
Because Sabah in December will be Fraser Hill in December will be quite rainy as compared to like Sabah in December. Because Sabah in December will be more colder, not that rainy compared to Fraser Hill. So I think in December will be a less opportunity for you to go birding compared to like Sabah.
I'm just curious, which parts of Sabah could we be going to?
I think the favorite is still Mount Kinabalu Park. And
Mount Kinabalu is about as dark as Botanic Gardens on certain days. Just saying.
so yeah, I mean it's quite misty also some of the days. And depend on the luck also. But I mean around there you can go like the Mount Kinabalu Park, you can go the Sepilok Rainforest Park, you can go the heights, and I mean you can get a high chance of getting an orange shaded thrush there compared to Singapore.
10 times easier, I would say. 10 times easier.
Yeah. And I would say the bird there is more friendly, more colorful. And if you got enough time, you can go to the Kinabatangan River to see like the monkeys, the kingfishers, the elephants. So there's more wildlife for you to see. Because Fraser is mostly birding, there's not really other like mammals. Because it's quite high up in like the sea level compared to like Sabah. So you get more opportunity to get more, see not only birding but wildlife in general.
I think there are pygmy elephants as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, the elephants.
Those would be wonderful to see, actually. I don't think I've
Yeah,
seen an elephant in the wild before, so that will definitely be interesting.
Sabah also like famous for their hornbills.
Yeah, we have a friend who really loves hornbills as well. Shout out to him if he's watching this. He's a little too busy right now to be shooting hornbills, but we got your back. Yeah, I noticed that you've been to Sabah quite a lot in the recent years. Do you want to share some of your finds over there?
Uh, I go 2 times. I would say it's quite a pleasant experience to go Sabah because the weather there is not as hot, but it's not as cold as like other countries. So I would say like you can get like very good pictures. It's also depend on the weather lah. So sometimes you go there, the weather not good. Sometimes you go there good, the weather is good, but there's no birds there. So my first trip was in May 2024. The one was me just going to scout the area for like with my guide. So three people also joined my guide together. So we bird together. So we visited the Mount Rosemary High. We visited the Kinabalu Park. I visited the Tanjong Aru Beach for the parrot. And we do night walk also and found many species of frogs and insects.
I heard
So
you
the
were
next one
doing,
was
oh yeah,
yes,
I heard you were doing macro with your 500 mil.
yeah, I was doing macro. Luckily there was like lighting, so it helps to lower down the ISO. But I can depend. I mean the R7 did went through a lot. Like it went through for Australia, went through Sabah, he went to Korea. He went through a lot of adventure with me. So I wouldn't say it's like the most unreliable or the most reliable. It's like you need to work around the camera to take picture of some of the birds. Especially like one of the black crown pita that we found in Sepilot Wen Forest. That one was I was shooting at 1/50th at the maximum ISO of 25,600. It was like 7 a.m. in the morning, and it was like the floor near the forest. So it's very hard to shoot. But the autofocus really didn't help, so I helped the camera to find the bird using my manual focus.
Yeah, I think having the skill of knowing when your camera works, when your camera's autofocus works, and when your camera's autofocus kind of struggle, that's really important. And when you learn to be able to, the work with the downsides of your camera, at the end of the day, you'll stop chasing all of those high-end gear. And I think as someone who has used the R7 before, it's a wonderful camera. I think one of the main draw points is probably the APS-C crop factor. That definitely would have helped you in Sabah, because I think even though the birds are more tame, they can be far away, especially
Yeah.
on
The ancient forest of Sapilo.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. The Rainforest Discovery Center, right?
Yeah, the rainforest at Sapilo.
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, there's still one issue that, like, if you can work around it, but it's still a big limitation. Is I think I would say the buffer. Like how much you trying to work around it with the 32 megapixel, it still fill up the buffer as fast, but can't clear as fast because of the limitation of the media type. So sometimes you are trying to pen with the bird, then you hit the buffer already.
Yeah. It's so important to be able to time it right.
Yeah.
And if you are coming from a DSLR or a DSLR user who is planning to switch to mirrorless, I'll definitely recommend the R7, but you need to learn how to um, work with it, work around some of its shortcomings. And I think it's a wonderful camera. Yeah, it's a really, really, really good camera. It gives you that extra reach, 32.5
Five.
megapixels, lots of cropping ability. Yeah.
I mean, you got other competitors also. Like you can either like go around, like go with the other brands like the Sony, the Fuji's, and the Nikon. But like you can go upscale also, like going for like Javin camera, the R6 II or the R6 III. So so like Javin, like what your experience with the R6 II, like, and what's the limitation that you face while birding with this camera, because you start quite recently, right?
Okay. So basically, the R6 II here, this one, it's quite a good camera for birding. Obviously not as good as like per se the R5 Mark II and the R1. Obviously, those will step on this every day. But as it is, it's still a very good camera. 24 megapixels is, believe it or not, is still enough to get some very detailed shots. Might be a bit biased because I have the 200 800 over here, but it still gives me really good shots. Autofocus wise, it's still really good. Some may say the R6 III, even though Canon says it has better autofocus, it's I don't see that much of improvement. So I see no reason why to upgrade to the R6 III just for like a few more features and a bit more megapixels. Besides, it has better low light performance, which in Singapore that's pretty much almost every part whenever you go birding. Like almost anywhere, you always face some kind of situation like the bird is in very low light conditions. And it served me pretty well so far. IBIS also well, since I always constantly pushing my shutter speed to try and keep my ISO down. And again, really dark conditions. It's not ideal, but you have to do. In terms of ISO performance, I'd say it's quite alright until you get to 8,000. And I believe for what I do, sorry, not what I do, what I believe in, right, is that anything above 8,000 is very near unusable because noise is just that extreme. At 8,000, I can still salvage some photos time to time, but photos shot at like 10,000 ISO, I can't. It's really bad. The shadows are extremely noisy, highlights too, even. So I guess that's the limits of every camera has limits, and this is the limits of my camera, and I've lived and I'm very used to it, and basically I can make do with it. Autofocus wise, it's not the best, but it will help you in a lot of situations. Like the stop view kingfisher just now, the fly past. Uh, Originally it wasn't, my focus point was wrong because I had the spot AF for the black, no, not black beaten, the yellow beaten across the water. And when the kingfisher was first coming through, I was like, I probably only have enough time to change my shutter speed. So I did that, and as it passed, originally it locked onto the background. So I was thinking, damn, it's not that good. Then about half a second later, immediately snapped right back to the stock view kingfisher. So I was like pretty impressed with it. May not be the best, but it is still a reliable camera and has reliable autofocus. So it's still a decent camera for birding. Video wise, although I don't use it as much, I use it sometimes. It's good. 4K 60/50 FPS. It's nice. I can't talk much about it because I don't do video that often, but uh, it's a very good all-round camera in terms of autofocus, low light, and every other feature like IBIS, for example. So it's still a good camera, and I probably won't be switching for some time because it's reliable and it's still working. So I see no reason to switch unless I have the budget for it, which I don't.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Maybe I'll share a little bit about my setup since you guys have shared a little bit. I recently made the switch about um 5 months, 3 months, probably around 4 months ago, from the Nikon Z5 to 180 to 600 to the Sony A9 and the 200 to 600 mm. And the A9 is an old camera by today's standards. It was from 2018,
2017.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 2017.
It
It's quite
was
an old
like
camera.
the revolutionary camera like from Sony that
Yeah,
started
definitely.
started other brands to pay attention to mirrorless.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I think that camera really revolutionized the term autofocus. The tracking, even though it's not, animal eye, bird eye, insect autofocus. The fact that you could customize a single spot and place it on whatever you want to track, and it'll be able to track it very well completely just throughout, completely throughout the frame. Yeah, it was just wonderful to have. And I think even though my previous cameras all had bird autofocus, I felt that the autofocus of the A9 really um was actually probably a lot more decent. I wouldn't say completely better because subject detection definitely helps, but I would say that it was better in most scenarios. I would definitely still prefer to have some sort of animal eye AF, but just having the ability to place the center spot on whatever I want to track and track it all over the frame is just really nice. So it's a good camera, 24 megapixels as well. Like what Jervin said, I have no issues with 24 megapixels. I can crop and I can work with my files really well. And I think one thing that I'm sure Jervin will agree with is that 24 megapixel cameras tend to perform better than cameras with higher megapixels because of the pixel density. So yeah, I'm just glad that the noise performance is really good. Really important while we are still here in Singapore, definitely. It's quite a blessing, honestly. As for the 200 to 600, wow, where should I start? I regret not getting this lens earlier. It's so much more so much sharper than the 180 to 600 for my copy at least. And the fact that I was able to shoot at f6.3 instead of f8 just to get an extra sharpness with my previous lens, it really helped me in a lot of scenarios. I was able to get, a little bit more light, and that really counts if you think about it. And something about the bokeh of the 200 to 600 feels very prime. And I really like that prime kind of feel. It's not completely blown out, but it still has that primish feel because I've used primes before. But yeah, all I can say is that I really love it. And the customizable buttons, what I've done is to get that extra stability, I've programmed one of my custom buttons on the lens to be autofocus so that I don't have to press the camera's back button autofocus down just to get the subject in focus. I found that when I use my thumb and I press down the custom function button, it actually helps me to stabilize my entire setup. So if you guys want to try it out, please go ahead. Yeah. So all in all, yeah, that's my kit. I'm really glad. I only recently got the 135 mil, and shooting birds in flight with that is challenging but fun. When you have a bird flying at you, when you're able to focus on it, wow, it just locks on really well. But when you focus on the wrong part of the bird, just because of that f1.8 aperture, you're gonna have a really hard time. Yeah, so it's quite hit and miss. I think it works better with cameras with eye tracking because it locks straight onto the eye. But for the Sony A9, I just use zoom. It works well. Doesn't hit all the time, but it works. Yeah, and it's sharp as well. G Master lens, and I mean it is a prime lens after all, so we have to expect that sharpness. Yeah. Yes. So that's all for money. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to our final segment for tonight. Maybe Jervin, you would want to share a little bit about your um trip to Langkawi, was it?
Yeah. It, I will be going in about early March, I presume, but the location of the trip might change. But it's most likely Langkawi. I do plan to go on some bird tours or with some bird guides because clearly I'm not prepped to go find on my own. I will not be trekking in the mangrove alone to find some kingfishers and stuff. Uh, some interest, the main interest there is of course the endemic, the brown ring kingfisher, if I got that right. And I've also heard from bird guides that are at the island that sometimes they do see the black cap, which I still do not have. Uh, as you know, in Singapore, there's already one black cap kingfisher at West Coast Park, but it is notoriously hard to shoot. So I didn't have the chance to get it yet. So hopefully when I go on this trip there, maybe I will get it. Who knows? Uh, Other than that, there's a lot of species that are similar to Singapore. A lot of sunbirds, some quakes as well. But the thing that separates Langkawi from Singapore is the raptors. There's a lot of uh, different eagles, and I think that's the mountain hawk eagle, was it? I don't think I got that. Let me check.
Mounted Serpent, Mounted Hawk, really confusing names.
Yeah, mountain. Let me double check. Yeah, it's the mountain hop eagle, which
Okay.
lives there, and it's also one of the other things that I do wish to get. Some hornbills as well. Again, I forgot. I need to. Besides the Oriental pipe that's already in Singapore, um, I'm I'm pretty sure there's also the great and reef hornbill that also lives at Langkawi, which is also another interest, considering I only have two hornbills, being the Oriental pipe and the rhino hornbill that is currently in Singapore. So yeah, this is one of the three main things that I'm looking forward to in Langkawi. And yeah, that's about it. And I hope I'll have fun, and I'll definitely share anything that I will get with all of you.
Okay, yeah. All the best for your trip to Langkawi that is coming up. We'll look forward to some of those wonderful posts as well. Yeah, if not, thank you guys so much for joining us for today's podcast. We have we hope that you have learned a thing or two, and we hope that you have enjoyed listening to our experience in the field today. So thank you all for listening, and see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.